guys, it's Kara here, and I'm doing a behind-the-scenes interview with the cast of Silent Comedy, and I'm here with Dana McMillan and Charlotte Salusinszky. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. So you have to explain why you're all dressed up in footy gear.
Oh, well, it's footy season. We just can't get enough of it. And we can't get enough of it so much that we thought we would do a sketch about sort of football culture.
Yeah, we did.
Awesome. So what's your sketch about? Can you give us a little bit of an insight into what we should expect?
Well, our characters, although they never utter their names because it's silent comedy, their names are Dave and Petroleum.
Interesting.
Anyway, so what happens is essentially they're clearly from two opposing houses. We actually took inspiration from Romeo and Juliet. And they sit down next to each other in this game and antics ensue.
So yeah, basically we meet these two football hooligans who this very like macho characteristics and forced to sit next to each other. They have a moment, and I don't know if we want to spoil what happens.
Exactly.
After that.
Yeah.
But their worlds are shifted, let's say.
Exactly.
Oh, good stuff. So tell us about your careers. So you've been in the performance industry for a while now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have. So we've been working together for about 4 or 5 years in lots of different aspects.
Yeah.
Most recently, we both work with a company called the D Collective, which is based across Melbourne and Sydney. But we've also worked in improvised comedy. We both are in a company called Sooth Plays, who are an improvised Shakespeare company.
Yes.
Maybe why we take inspiration from Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had lots of different projects together, but that's our latest one.
How did you guys meet?
Doing Shakespeare.
Funnily enough, yeah. But we did a production of As You Like It together, and then after that, we just kept finding ourselves in the same projects, or working with each other quite a lot.
So crossing the same paths deliberately, or was it sort of fate, like in a romantic way?
Oh, definitely fate from the start.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely fate in the beginning, and then I think having worked together, it was then that sort of thing of if a project comes up, go like, oh, Charlotte's so amazing to work with, let's keep that collaboration going.
Yeah. So it's a duo you're just going to continue as a duo now?
Well, there's the two of us, but then we do have another collaborator from Sydney as well.
Yeah.
So depends on the project.
Yeah, who's available, what the project demands.
Good stuff. Now you'll have to tell me, so you've been in the performance industry for a while, but when did you really get a passion for it, like growing up as a kid? Do you remember a time in your life where you were just like, that's it, I'm performing, I'm going to do comedy?
I think I've got the real daggy story of, being a bit of feeling a bit out of place as a teenager, and the drama room just being the place where I felt most at home and most accepted, and where I could explore things creatively, and always having drama teachers that were so sort of supportive and challenged me and pushed me, and being able to perform so much within that safe context, I think just gave me a passion for it from when I was quite young.
Was there like a moment in the schoolyard though where you were just sort of like, I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and do drama, or I'm going to push myself into that sort of realm, or any pinnacle sort of moment?
I'm not sure. I feel like I need to have that moment like every day and be like, you're doing it, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Come on.
Get out of bed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it was sort of an ongoing choice, but I can't remember a specific moment per se.
Yeah. What about you, Dana? Do you remember anything?
Yeah, not a specific moment. I do remember quite early on, like year 7 in high school, going, right, I'm going to be an actor and that's what's going to happen. But definitely for a long time was very much like, I'm going to be an actor, and I'm going to be in Shakespeare, and I'm going to do very serious acting. And it wasn't until university and like working with different companies, like our company, the D Collective, where we started working more physical languages. I'd sort of thought of myself as a very naturalistic actor, like very, definitely not in the comedic realm at all. I didn't think I was funny. So it definitely shifted things very much.
Yeah. Was there like a moment like at uni where like...
Yeah, just walking into a room with people and going, oh, I have to use my body. Like, what? What is this? And after that challenge was just really exciting. And it opens up a whole range of possibilities working in a physical form. There's so many different chances for characters that you don't get in a scripted written world.
Yeah. And I guess with physical sort of comedy, was that something, like I know that you said when you went to university, that's what, you know, sort of opened your mind to doing that side of things. But is there any particular reason why you've chosen to focus on it now? Like, why do you do physical comedy?
I think for me it was the people I was working with, and definitely comedy is part of what we make. You know, it's something we go to for specific projects, but we also lean into working in very experimental theatre means. So this is something like this is a fun opportunity to explore some things through a really comedic realm. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a specific inspiration. There's so many like incredible comedians, I think.
Who inspires you both? Like, do you have any idols in comedy in general or in silent comedy?
Comedy in general. I think I've just seen a few shows of Natalie Palamides, who's an a artist based in the US, and her work is really interesting. It's very like politically charged, but also very physical and very, very funny as well. And I think that's sort of exciting work that's out there at the moment. But there's a lot of really amazing female comedians in Australia, people like Tess Waters or Clara Cupcase. I was just watching her work overseas, and she's great. She's so funny, so I'm excited to see her work.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I guess I draw similar inspirations.
Yeah.
But a hero. Oh, yes, it's just occurred to me.
Go on.
You're searching for a name.
Yeah, the name has just gone straight out of my head. You know,
what are they in?
The solo shows in Comedy Festival, playing multiple characters, and we saw it. There was something. Rama Nicholas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something not really my skill set, but just this incredible ability to create narrative and character in a solo show that's just so smart and incredibly skilled that like I'm just in awe. So I love her work.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Is there any advice you would give to comedians who are looking at getting into the industry now? Like, what would you sort of say to them?
It's a really good question. I think to find forms that really work for you, like whether it's experimenting in a silent physical comedy or whether it's experimenting with stand-up, and as hard as it is just to go out and do it in front of people, and the more you do it, the more you get seen, the more you take that risk. I think it just builds your confidence, but also builds your network of people and audience.
Would you have the same sort of advice?
Yeah, I back down this advice. I also think finding creative community is really important, and particularly sometimes with comedy, like solo comedy or stand-up, or it can, and especially as artists, you're often like, you're working, although often in ensembles, there's this individual career that you have, and you're like on your little box and you're trying to sort of vouch for it. So it's really important to have like really genuine community around you that to share ideas and to support each other through the highs and lows, I think. So having some good friends.
Yeah, oh, that's great. And so where do you see yourself both in 5 years? Will you still be working together, or?
Yes. Well, no, yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. I think these sort of collaborations, the reason they work so well is that you can see such an extended future, and there's always more that you want to do. So I hope that we're still working together. You're going to walk out of the room. I'm never going to speak to you again. In 5 years, I think hopefully doing what I'm doing now.
Do you have like a end goal, like where you're like, this is where I want to be? I want to be, overseas performing. I want to be doing comedy festival here. Like I want to have a regular show, radio spot. Like, what's the ultimate goal?
I think definitely overseas, and the idea to tour, but also to tour to meet artists from around the world and those sort of collaborations, and really just keep developing practice and form, and I think there's always more work to do as an artist. Just when you get to a place, you think that there's somewhere else to get to. There's always something more to learn.
Always got to keep climbing that mountain. Totally. Never get there.
Never get to the top.
I've loved work overseas, performing overseas, and just doing collaborations with people whose work I love, and to continue to grow and be challenged. And I guess as an artist, there's always more in your instrument that you can be growing and developing. So I think it's a curiosity that continues to drive me. So there'll always be something else I want to discover. And one of the great things is that it leads you to places you just never expect. So
who knows?
Very open.
Who knows where you'll end up?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I thought I'd try one last thing just to finish up the interview. So you've got your performances. You're very used to working under the pump spontaneously.
Yes.
Can you make us laugh in 5 seconds? Go.
I'm going to make me laugh.
I think that's longer than 5 seconds.